Boom. Here we are for the mock draft for the season 4 draft. Thank you so much for being with me, Scorpions. I'm excited about this one.
Of course, as always, I'm super excited for the draft as well. Ready to
Ooh,
go.
hooey, buddy. It's a big one. What a great season. Congratulations to the Demons on what a phenomenal season and everybody. But it is now season 4, season 3 in the books. Let's jump right into it. We're going to do a mock draft today. I have not shared my mock draft with the Scorpions, and we don't know what each other are going to pick, so it's going to be a surprise and genuine, all on film for you guys. But first of all, we got the draft this Saturday, September 25th at 12 p.m. via Discord, and it is going to be really, really, really exciting. So let's jump right into it and let's talk about the. We're only going to talk about the first round, but let's jump right into it and talk about the first overall pick, the Gators. The Gators finishing with the regular season of 3-3, won in season 1, and then season 2 5-4, and now season 3 3-8. They are a playoff record of 2-1. Their team needs are defensive tackle, left end, right outside linebacker, snowball players. They only had two, but they got the number 1 pick in the draft. Scorpions, love to hear your thoughts and what do you think about these Gators?
Um, yeah, I like the team needs. I believe they were struggling with their quarterback, and I went with the quarterback for the number one draft. Uh, Thomas Brown, the 93 overall quarterback there. Now it's not on the list there for quarterback, but
So this
I
is the
believe they
yeah.
yeah, I believe they flopped around on Ralph Dorsey and Irv Walsh during the season, so they weren't really sure who they wanted to start. So I say they go there and
So
uh,
you're saying they go Thomas Brown with their first pick in the
yes.
season 3 draft, and I'm going to agree with you on that one. And we're gonna bring it up right here. Boom, Thomas Brown. And we'll do another one here. Here it goes. Thomas Brown here.
Hmm. So you had Thomas Brown as well, even though on the list of needs, quarterback wasn't there.
That's a very good point. It's a very good point. Yeah. So the Gators they go with the quarterback there just because of the shaky quarterback there, even though they might not need it. So the Gators definitely could go in a different direction. Um, they got some really, really young. They got one of the youngest defenses, if not the youngest defense in the league. They're definitely going to come around, but they got great depth at on the for the defense, but for the defensive line, really there. I know they're 78, but they're young. Like we're talking about, they'll grow. But that
Yeah.
linebacking core, man, definitely could use some help. So if he doesn't go outside linebacker, I could see him maybe going um, or if he doesn't go quarterback, should I say, I could see him going outside linebacker to fill that right outside linebacker spot.
Yeah. And we know he was talking about the wide receiver in the Facebook chat as well a little bit. But look at that wide receiver. I remember him saying it. So he does got a couple old wide receivers. He could go that route as well if he wanted.
Yeah,
But
a lot of teams have that old receiver for sure.
if it, well, he has two technically. His Mike Dixon and Shane Clemens are both 30. Well, Shane Clemens is 34. Mike Dixon is 31.
Right.
But yeah, he could go that route, but honestly, with the way he was flip-flopping on his quarterbacks, I think he should go the best player in the draft at 93 overall and take that quarterback and just either play Ralph Dorsey for a year over him, let him sit behind him, or just say whatever and go for it. Try and rebuild the team, basically.
Yeah.
but they do have the youngest, I think, defense because we were talking about it. I think their oldest starter, if if they went
For their defense, he has 27, you're saying? Yeah, and then they got a
yeah,
lot of
or
23-year-olds on the line as well.
yeah, 27 at defensive tackle if they went 4-3 or if they went 3-4. I read that wrong actually. Yeah. So 27 is the oldest starter on their defense. Super young. And that's the second defensive tackle.
All right.
So,
So let's move on to the Vipers because we talked about them for 5 minutes now. Let's let's
yep.
get let's get on to these Vipers and the Gators, man. They could pick anybody, but they might go with the quarterback or an outside linebacker in our draft. We both pick quarterback. Now let's get back to our mock draft. Vipers, they got team needs outside linebacker, corner, quarterback. Quarterback isn't really a thing for them, but Quincy Bennett started playing really well, but he didn't start every game, so they might have an answer there at quarterback already if the quarterback doesn't fall to them. But also, snowball players want to point this out that they have the second most snowball players in the All Star game, even though they have the second pick overall. Regular season record 2-5, 7-2, then 3-8 in this season three, and their playoff record is 0-1. So yeah, so super excited to see these Vipers and see which team they pick. Um, do you want to reveal your um, pick
Why
for
don't
the
you
Vipers first, or do you want me to do
what
this one? We'll
yeah,
go.
you do this one.
We'll go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
and forth.
Yep.
Okay,
I
so
like that.
so for this one, they could go corner. They could take the best corner in the league because the quarterback's gone. If the quarterback isn't taken, they might feel like they could take him because they had some issues at quarterback. But if they don't, if the quarterback's not there, I could see them going outside linebacker, Greg or Andy Magruder.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we'll go to the draft board here, and for the outside linebackers, Andy Magruder right here, 84 overall, with 82 speed, 87 acceleration, 71 awareness, which is the highest for a right outside linebacker. I really think would fit these guys perfectly. It would be a true right outside linebacker, so his points won't go down. He's already got some of the best. He has the best defensive tackle, great defensive ends. Both of, if not, or Anthony Braxton was in the Snow Bowl. If not, both of them were in the Snow Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. They got Timmy Wilson. Yeah, they have him over here, but his progression goes down. They already got Rick Perry, Phil Rucker. They got a phenomenal team, man. They also could put that corner in there and move Jahard Hopkins back. But man, I think that linebacker is really going to make an instant impact for them right now. That's my pick for the Vipers. What's your pick?
So I have them actually going the cornerback Marvin Castorani.
You
And
okay?
the reason I have him going instead of the outside linebacker um, is because he does have Timmy Wilson that can fill in on the right side, and also Rick Perry is only 22 years old. That is the true outside linebacker, and he's 78, so he's young. He can also take over that spot if they wanted to. But Timmy Wilson, 83, he may have a slight drop going to the right, but he's still going to be 81, 82 at the most, probably on the right side. And that's only two less than what he would get there. So I went with the cornerback to take over the old guy's spot there, pretty much.
I think that's a good pick, and I think no matter if he does either or, really, I think it's a win
Yeah.
for him, for sure.
Now you had him going Andy Magruder, not Daniel Krieg. Is
Yes,
that what you said?
yes, I
Okay.
did. Yeah, Andy Magruder over Daniel Krieg. Yes, I do think that is the best pick for them.
Okay.
Not too sure what's going on here with the graphic here. Hold on. Let me remove this. Okay, so there you go. Andy Magruder for the Vipers, and then cornerback Malvin Castorani for the Vipers going for the Scorpions mock draft. Let's jump right into the next pick, which is the Blue Jays.
Yes, sir. So we have. Oh, you're going to talk about the team needs and everything?
These Blue Jays, absolutely. These Blue Jays need a left end. They need a cornerback. They need wide receiver. They had five Snow Bowl players in the All Star game. They went 5-1-1 in the first season. Season two, they went 4-5, and now season three, they go 3-8. Another playoff loss. They had a playoff loss, 0-2 now in the playoffs, and now they have the third overall pick. They could go quite a few ways here, um, and I'm sure a lot of people have an idea which way that they could go, and I honestly think that that's what they're gonna do. Let's take a quick look at their team here. Fred Boone here, their left end went to 76. He dropped. He was
Mm.
79, I believe. And then their linebackers look great. Their corners look really good as well. Safeties look good. So they could take a shot at the best receiver in the league. But what is your draft pick for them? What do you think they're gonna go?
Um, so for this one, I actually have them taking the left end to replace Fred Boone because he obviously is digressing and kind of maybe a flop. I have him going Jason Woods at 83 overall and filling up that left end spot.
Wow, Jason Woods, yeah, he looks absolutely impressive. He's 22 years old, 6'5", 295,
Mm-hmm.
92 pounds,
He's a
and
big boy.
he's strong as heck. The
Hmm.
strongest defensive end actually out of all of them. He's
Yep.
89 strength, 83 overall, and that would be a big jump for them.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, absolutely, it would be a big pick for them, and there's nothing wrong with that pick for these Blue Jays, that's for sure. Let's go throw it up on the board. But yeah, give me a little bit on these Blue Jays while I throw this graphic up.
Um, Yeah, so I mean, the Blue Jays could also go wide receiver or another cornerback, the second cornerback off the board. Those are their three needs. Um, the wide receiver is also a very, very good pick. I think it could be um, Seth White, as we see being put up there. Uh, but yeah, so um, I mean, I picked Jason Woods because you need to shore up that end spot. There's good wide receivers throughout the whole draft, I think. Um, it goes from Seth White, which is four above the next best guy, and only six above the worst guy. So overall wise, so that's why I went with the left end.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick, man. And it was Jason Woods.
Correct. Yep. Jason Woods. I see you went with Seth White, which is also a perfectly great pick there. I mean, Seth White will do great on his team.
Yeah,
What is that?
I agree.
I mean,
Yeah, he's gonna be connecting with Eric Reeves, and Eric
well,
Reeves played
yeah,
phenomenal, right?
and plus his three wide receivers at the bottom of his list are all 34, 31, and 31. So they're getting up there in age. So they are going to need a couple new wide receivers. They might need to pick up two wide receivers in all of this draft,
Yeah,
plus free
34,
agency.
34, 31, 31. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And if he falls to
So
him,
that
it's kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, that might be the pick. Yeah, that might be the pick because they could always pick up a right end that is 80, the lowest one in the draft this year, and throw him on the left if they needed. So yeah,
All right,
great pick.
I absolutely agree. So both of those picks, no matter which way they go, would be great for the Blue Jays. So leaving those with those picks taken off the board, these Werewolves sitting here at the fourth pick. Team needs defensive tackle, free safety, cornerback. They had six Pro Bowl players, even though they're the fourth overall team. And honestly, the Werewolves, out of their four wins, they took down some big teams
Hmm.
and they played really well. Even the games that they lost, they had a quarterback kind of controversy there. So, but Kerry Kirkland took over, and they had a quarterback trade as well during the regular season. And the regular or season two, they went 4-5, um, and made the playoffs. Their first season and beat the Vipers in the first round, which was a huge win for them. And then season three, they just missed the playoffs with the same record as two teams that made the playoffs.
Correct.
So
Yep.
these Werewolves are right there, and they're gonna have a high pick. They're 1-1 in the playoffs, and they have a great team, a great offensive line. I believe three or five out of the six were all in the trenches. So three
Yeah.
offensive linemen and two defensive ends or something like that. They can win up front. The Werewolves are a great team, no doubt. Don't sleep on these Werewolves. So I'll take the first pick here on this one,
Yep.
and I'm gonna go with defensive tackle Jeff Anderson. I think that it's just an absolute slam dunk pick for them. Let's take a look at their defense here. Um, they got this. Look at this. They had one guy retire as well. 77-67. They could jump right there, and the defensive tackle could fall right to him, and he could replace and really help. Marvin Summers and Warren Stevens. He's got great linebackers, and his secondary. I know it may look deceiving on paper, but look at Jeremy Carson go, and they had one of the best pass defenses in the league last season.
Correct.
So that's probably something we should have had up too, is the rankings from last season for sure. But they play really well on defense. So to have that defensive tackle would help them tremendously. So what is your pick for the Werewolves?
We have the same thing there, buddy. It's definitely got to be Jeff Anderson, in my opinion, for them. The only other thing I could see them going is a free safety, but they do have a young free safety that is 75 overall. And in the draft, I think they could pick up one later that's like 78, possibly. So I think defensive tackle is definitely the way to go. There's a huge drop off to the next guy, 77 after that. I think that's the way to go, 100%.
Absolutely. All right. So yeah. So let's look at the Werewolves. We'll throw this Werewolves back up here. We'll go over here.
Yep.
All right. So we both got Jeff Anderson up on the board. And yeah, he's just a
It
home
it's
run pick.
literally a no brainer for them. If he's there, they have to take him. And he should be there. I don't see why he would get taken by the other teams, but who knows?
All right. I absolutely agree with you there for these powerful werewolves, man, and they're only going to get stronger with quite a huge pick with that fourth pick. If they did go anywhere else, I could maybe see them getting a corner, or maybe a free safety.
Yeah, I could see him taking the number one free safety, Melvin Means there. Possibly. That is a possibility for them for sure, in my opinion.
Okay, and then the next pick is the Cobras.
All right. And their team needs are right end, free safety, cornerback.
That's correct, man. They got the six Snow Bowl players. They got the fifth overall pick. They made the playoffs, but they had to face the Piranhas in the first round, and nobody wants to do that. First season they went 4-3. Season two they went 1-8, and then season three they went 4-7, made the playoffs but lost once again in the first round, so they're 0-2 in the playoffs. We'll take a look at their roster real quick, but it's your turn to pick. Who do you think they're going with here at the fifth overall pick in the draft?
So I have them taking the free safety, Melvin Means, and the reason is they got two 31-year-old free safeties that are on their way out. They're 79, 78 overall. If he picks up Melvin Means, that's an 84 rookie, plug and play. And if Melvin Means is gone, then he should take Aaron Dodd. 83. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, yeah, 22-year-old, 6'3". Malvin
Hmm.
Means would be a huge pick for them. Absolutely agree with that. Yeah, that's wow. What a pick that'd be. Wow. Yeah, that would be perfect for them. There, it would definitely shore up the free safety situation for them because they definitely were bouncing around there in the depth charts trying to figure out who their guy was. I got them taking right here. I got them taking the right end. Where is he? The right end, Pedro Smith. Pedro
Okay.
Smith. Um, the defensive end, he's 83 overall, 6'5", 22-year old with 87 acceleration and 81 strength. Um, the right end here to take over for James Donaldson, who dropped to 76 overall, and make this an 83. It would really be big for them. They would have an 80, an 83, 79, and a 78 would be a really big thing for them. Big defensive pressure up front. Because I feel like their defense did really well. They just weren't getting home. They just weren't getting enough sacks. And I think that could really help them for
Now
sure.
I do agree with you, sort of. The only reason I don't agree with you is because look at the right ends on the draft. Um, you have, yes, 83 is the best guy, but the worst guy is 80. He can get an 81 or an 80 in the second round, maybe even the 82 in the second round. And I think he'd still be just fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
yes, the right end is good, but there are still really good ones up there.
all
And he
right.
and his free safeties are old, both of them.
Yeah, he could go either way. Would be a great pick
Yeah,
for him. Absolutely, I agree for
either
sure.
way. Yeah.
I agree, but yeah, man, it just is such more of a jump, right? 4 points to
Hmm.
10 points to a 10 point jump he could go, right? But yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying, but there are
Yeah.
there are lots of them in there, so that you could definitely get one in the later round. So, but there's only one Pedro Smith.
True. You're right.
There's
And
only
he
one
could
Pedro
definitely
Smith.
do that.
So he could be that guy. So we'll see. Let's go put him up on the board. Okay, so there they are up on the board there. Free safety Melvin Means goes to the Cobras. And I got the Cobras taking right end Pedro Smith. Cool to see the diversity and see the different sides of it and the different strategies. So that's really cool to
Mhm.
see. Let's go right into the next one and not hesitate. From the Cobras, who has got the sixth overall pick?
We got the Dragons.
We got the Dragons. The Dragons here in season one. They went 4-3 and won it all and beat the Piranhas in the championship game, believe it or not. And season two, they went 2-6, and now season three are 6-6. Playoff record, they're 2-1. Their team needs cornerback, free safety, left end. They had three snowball players, which was tied for last, which was pretty surprising. Um, since they had 6 wins in the regular season. Um, they had the sixth pick as well, right in the middle of the draft as well, right in the middle of the pack, right in the middle of the draft. This team, they could go a few different ways, but what do you got them taken in the first round in the season four draft?
Oh, this one's you, buddy.
This one's me. All
Yep,
right,
you talking first.
let's go. Let's take a look at this one. These Dragons here, I got them taking cornerback Melvin Castoroni. Castorani. Sorry. They have an 83 Jamie Foster, and then it drops significantly. And plus, Jamie Foster's 31 years old, and he's 5'8". Um, they could bring in the big corner right there, and it falls right to him. Um, they also could go middle linebacker, but I love Jonas Oliver and Ivory Orlando. I think Orlando needs more reps because he's a phenomenal player. He's only 22 years old. They got Grant Hale, Reggie Tyson in there. They got a great defensive line now. Um, I just think that the answer is cornerback for them. They could go free safety as well, but Melvin Castorani, that's my pick. What's your pick?
Well, so I had him going earlier, Marvin Castorani, and I actually have the second cornerback, Noah Childs, going off the board here. So we both have cornerback, which is funny. Um, and I agree with you. He could go free safety here, if he wanted. If Melvin Means is there, especially, uh, I could see him going Melvin Means. But yeah, I have him going the second corner off the board, Noah Childs.
Yeah, I agree that I think corners where they're gonna go for sure for these dragons. But if they don't go corner, where else do you think they could go?
I could see him going free safety. The second free safety would be Aaron Dodd off the board if they wanted to go that way. If Melvin Means is gone, if not, I would take Melvin Means. Um, but anything else? Let's see. Um, I mean, they could go with a left end possibly here as well. I know they got Chad Lawton going over to the left end now. So they could pick up the second left end off the board, which I believe is 82 overall. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much the three that I would say for them.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, so let's go throw them up on the board. Okay, so there they are up on the board there. Bring up the Discord for these dragons. They're definitely gonna get a really good player. In this first round, they could go a few different ways here, getting one of the best top corners or one of the top free safeties, that's for sure. And Scorpions mentioned that I did put this wrong here. They're 6-5 actually in the regular season, not 6-6. But these Dragons, man, they're no one to be toyed with. They had 6 wins, man,
Hmm.
so they definitely can get it done. That's for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
Let's go into the seventh pick. Look at these guys. I'm just kidding. This
These guys need a ton of help. Trust
these
me.
guys need a ton of help. No, these Scorpions, man, they played great in the regular season. Had one of the best running games, second best in the league for sure. Great running game for sure. But they had 8 Pro Bowl players or Snow Bowl players in the All Star game, which is no slouch. And also they had they had a great running game and a great presence, and they hosted a playoff game in their first um, season ever. So they went 7-4 in their first season, and they got 8 Pro Bowl players. They got the seventh overall pick, and let's take a look at their roster. Is it your turn or my turn?
You
Pick.
picked the dragon, so it's my turn, I believe, right?
All
Yep.
right. So what do you have the Scorpions projecting the Scorpions to take in this pick here?
I have the middle linebacker, Jason Williams. If he's there, that might be the pick for me.
Jason Williams is the pick.
Now, I could also go cornerback, but I have both the top two cornerbacks off the board. Um, so I could go Matt Wood. He's a decent pick, but if it were between those two, I think I would go with the middle linebacker. But
Yeah, well, there you go. You said it there. So, yeah, the Scorpions think that they could go middle linebacker there, 83 overall. Jason Williams with his 85 speed, 95 acceleration, fastest out of any linebacker. Almost, and every corner. By the or does he have more acceleration than every corner? Yeah, he's tied with Sheen Lisley. He's just as fast as the corners, middle linebacker.
Off the
he's six
yeah.
he's 6'3" and he's 22 years old. This guy's just flies off the charts. That's for sure. He looks really good, and also Matt Wood, 91 speed, 94 acceleration. This guy looks like a baller too. Could really help these Scorpions big time. Um, I got the Scorpions taking middle linebacker Jason Williams.
Oh, there you go.
It's a
That's our
bit
third similar pick.
that's a big one because I looked at the board here and I know that Ernie Pounds, he had phenomenal season. He made the Snow Bowl, the All Star game.
Hmm.
He had 14 tackles behind the line of scrimmage, which was the most in the league. He's only 23 years old, 6'1", 87 acceleration, 87 speed. This guy can fly, and he needs to start to get his reps. So I understand if they don't go middle linebacker, but when you look
Hmm.
at the drop here, and I'm looking at just instant points here, um, he could jump big time from 74 to 83.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I also could go right end. But again, I already said it. There's so many good right ends on the board.
yeah,
I can probably wait until the second to get a right end.
I
That's
agree.
my thought on it, at least.
I agree. And that 83 corner could be big for them as well
Yes.
because that would be tied with their starter. Their
Hmm.
top guy, their number one corner. So they could have two 83 corners, and it's a passing league. So you never know. So
That
we'll
is a
see.
very good pick as well, Matt Wood. Yeah.
You can't lose either way with that one. So these
Hmm.
Scorpions, man, they looked extremely impressive in their first season, and was really excited to see which way they pick in the first round. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's go throw them on the board. There you go. It's up on the board now. Both of us take middle linebacker Jason Williams just because of the needs and just where it falls to. It just might just fall right to the Scorpions either way, whether they go middle linebacker or corner. They're going to definitely get an all-star because everybody's getting an all-star, and this draft is really front loaded. Big time.
Hmm.
So now let's go take a look at the eighth overall pick,
Which is the Bears.
which is the Bears.
The Bears.
Team needs defensive tackle, corner, left end, middle linebacker. They had nine Snowball players, which was third, I believe.
That is second.
Second, it
Oh,
was
yeah, no, no, third. Third, you're right.
yeah, it's
My
third
bad.
because
Third.
10 came from the
Yep.
Vipers. So
Hmm.
eighth overall pick, their regular season, they went 2-6 in their first season, but then this season, what a bounce back season! They went 8-3, but in the first round lost, so they're 0-1 in the playoffs. But man, these Bears are looking like they're on the up and up big time. They have an absolutely extremely talented team with their two young free safety and strong safety, Tyrone Penn and Grant McCormack. Um,
Hmm.
you can really see the gap here when you look at the middle linebacker, even though Corin Rogers and Ike Hall had an insanely good season.
They
Um,
did.
they really were all over it. So I wouldn't blame them if he really tried to get this guy to get more reps. They're both 24 and 23.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, the one defensive end and the D tackles. I already had the one defensive tackle going, so
So do I.
if
And the next best one's 77, so
yeah, so if that D tackle somehow falls, I could see him maybe going there.
for
Um,
sure.
but this is my pick here?
Yes, sir.
So my pick here, I got cornerback Noah Childs. So I got him taking a corner. It would, he's got 79, 76, 72, 69. Ouch. They could get another star in there, and he would be their best corner right off the bat.
Hmm. Yeah. And I have him taking cornerback Matt Wood because both those top two corners are off the board for me. So I have him taking a cornerback as well, just Matt Wood.
Man, Matt Wood, he's only 83,
Mhm.
he's not much. He's like 84 to 83 ain't much. He's
Hmm.
just a couple ticks under for almost every category, but he's got the same acceleration, actually more jumping than both Castorani and Child. So that's really cool to see. So yeah, Matt Wood could plug in and play for the Bears right away, which would be really cool. If they don't go corner, where do you think they're gonna go?
Um, I mean, D tackle definitely would be the spot, but if that D tackle's gone, then I could see him going the second left end off the board, possibly.
Yeah.
Um, because that's the decent pick there. Um, 82 overall. That would be my next best pick is probably the left end if the cornerbacks are gone or whatever. I think cornerback and left end are probably his top two needs, other than defensive tackle, which is probably going to get taken before him. If somehow Jeff Anderson makes it all the way to 9, that would be insane. And other than that, the defensive tackles are kind of meh.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But
agree.
he does have good middle linebackers, so yeah, I would see him taking the left end. The 82 overall left end, I think, is the other one that's up there still.
Yeah,
Or if
absolutely.
Jason Woods is up there, he's 83 still. He could go him.
He could go even Eldon Craig, the middle linebacker, the second middle linebacker there in the draft.
Elton Craig, yeah.
Elton Craig there. So we'll see what the
But
Bears do.
but
They
you were saying his two middle linebackers played res- very well. Ike Hall, I think, made it, didn't he?
Yeah,
To the
he was. Yeah, I believe he was
yeah
in the snowball. Yeah.
yeah, I believe he was in the snowball, and I
Yeah.
mean they're both young, so I mean I could see him saying I don't really need middle linebacker. Is all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, he might not need to go there right away because there is actually a few middle linebackers. Actually, it's pretty deep, the middle
I mean
linebacker group.
if Jason Williams fell, I could see him going that. If I didn't or nobody else took middle linebacker Jason Williams, I could see him going that maybe because he does look kind of beastly.
All right, let's go throw him on the board. Okay, so there we go. We got the picks for the Bears in the first round, and the Bears, I got them picking Noah Childs, and the Scorpions got them taking Matt Wood. So we both thinking corners. So yeah, like you said, we are thinking the same wavelength for these Bears. Let's go right into the ninth pick in the draft, which is the Wildcat.
Wildcats. That's all you, buddy.
Wildcats. Wildcats, they need an outside linebacker, left end cornerback. They had 6 Snow Bowl players in the All Star game. They have the ninth overall pick. Their regular season record in season one was 2-5, and in season two they went 6-3, but ended up going on a 3-game winning streak in the playoffs and winning and beating the Gators in the championship game. Season three they went 7-4, which is pretty impressive as well. Got another playoff win in the first round, but then ended up losing to the insanely fire like a hot team, the Rhinos. They just were insanely good in the playoffs this past season, and the Wildcats get their first playoff loss actually in regular or in their franchise history was against the Rhinos, which is kind of cool to think about. So they're 4-1 with the ninth overall pick. Let's take a look at their team. They clearly have a gap there at the left end that clearly could be addressed right here, right off the bat. But they also have no right outside linebacker on the roster. They're just
On the roster.
there just is there just isn't one. So
Yeah.
they had 4 left outside linebackers, and the one guy retired. And now they got another guy, Troy Majaya, who's 32, who's gonna retire soon. and 72, 69. Like they have a problem at linebacker, though they have that Heath Swan guy that's been playing out. Their second middle linebacker's been playing out on the right side. But clearly, when the linebackers move from their true positions that they go down in overall. So they could
Mhm.
get a right outside linebacker right here, and fill that spot and have Alan Stevens, Glenn Anderson, and Heath Swan playing backup middle linebacker and another right outside linebacker would be big for them here. Their corners look really good. Their free safeties and strong safeties look like amazing. One of the best strong safeties in the league, if not the best, questionably the best strong safety in the league. Their corners, they definitely they could go for a corner here, but like we said, like in our picks, they're all gone here. For the
Mhm.
most part, they could get another one there in 81 overall, which is no joke too. So there's a few options for these Wildcats, but I got them taken outside linebacker Daniel Craig.
And I have the exact same pick. That is their biggest glaring need. Is a linebacker and an outside linebacker, I think. Um, it's Daniel Craig for sure, 100%, if he's still there.
Yeah, so right here you'll take a look. Andy Magruder is taken earlier, number 84 or the 84 overall, and now the right outside linebacker. They don't even have one on the roster. Daniel Craig could fall right to them at 84 overall. He's 84 speed, 89 acceleration. He's 22 and he's 6'2". The guy's fast, young, tall, and he's questionably the second best, if not the best, outside linebacker in the draft, and it could fall right to these Wildcats.
Well, on my draft board, he's the first one off, and I believe he's the better of the two. He's 2 years younger, um, and he's faster. I think he's the better of the two, and I think he should go first out of the two right outside linebackers.
Yeah,
And
so
I do have him going first.
you have him going first. I had the Vipers going Andy Magruder, but they
True.
could
Mhm.
easily go Craig. Easily.
Correct.
All right, and
Hmm.
then the Wildcats might have to settle for Andy Magruder, which is not really settling, right? So
Yeah.
that's still a phenomenal player.
Hmm.
So yeah, if they don't go outside linebacker, where else could you see them maybe going?
Um, I could see him going that left end, the second guy. If Jason Woods is gone, he's still really good. Brandon McCuller. Um, I could see him going that because I believe that was one of their needs, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And
Um, and also a cornerback, depending on what's up there. But what do we have left? For me, there would be the fourth corner, which would be
Corey Wilson,
Corey Wilson,
he's 81
which
overall.
yeah, still isn't terrible. Not bad. 91 speed,
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
good catching. Yeah, still pretty good. So he could go. You could go Corey Wilson, also, but I think Daniel Krieger, Andy Magruder should be there, and with team needs for what people need, I think they should be there, and I believe he should go Daniel Krieg.
Yeah,
But
I absolutely
you never
agree.
know.
I agree with the pick. The outside linebackers is a clear glaring hole for them, but they could definitely get a defensive end or a cornerback that would help the Wildcats tremendously. That is for sure. Let's go throw it up on the board. Boom. So there you go. It's up on the board. Outside linebacker Daniel Krieg, another pick for both of us that are the same. So we're starting to think the exact same these last four rounds, that's for sure.
Mm,
Now let's go right into the 10th pick, which is the
Piranhas.
Piranhas. Everybody's favorite team to play, the Piranhas, who smoke everybody every time they play them, and you got to really bring your A game to beat these guys. What an introduction. These Piranhas, their team needs are outside linebacker, right end, cornerback, and wide receiver. They had 11, let me say it again, 11 Snow Bowl players, which is the most in the All Star game. They had a regular season record of 4-3 in season one, and then they went the season two went 7-1-1, and now in season three went 10-1 once again. That is just absolutely insane. Their playoff record, they're 3-3 though, and they've lost now two straight back-to-back semifinal games. And then season one lost in the championship game. So that's tough luck for these Piranhas in the postseason. It's definitely a different game, and you could tell with these Piranhas. But let's go right into what they need and their picks and Scorpions. What do you think they take here?
So I actually have him going Andy McGruder here, because I don't have him getting picked up earlier. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Reggie Glenn did play pretty well, and he's right outside linebacker. He's only 23, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Can you remember?
yeah, he's 23,
So,
6'3". Yeah,
so if both those linebackers are gone, I could see him going the cornerback here just to uh, get get Corey Wilson 81 overall, which would be tied with their best right now. Um, I also could see them going. What was it? There was another idea I had. Oh, they could go Seth White if he's not taken on my board. He's not. Um, or a right end. He definitely could use a right end as well. But he does have two young left ends that um, are both over 80 at least. So,
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
but yeah, on my board, I have him going Andy Magruder, the second right outside linebacker for him, which is probably the wrong pick because Reggie Glenn played well. I was looking at it just now and I was like, I think Reggie Glenn played pretty well.
Yeah, he
So he
did.
could go something else.
I have him as also taking an outside linebacker.
Hmm,
I have him taking Miller. I believe it is. Where is he?
the third guy.
Yeah, I got him
Oh,
taking.
oh, left outside linebacker guy. Okay. Kevin Miller, the top.
Yeah, right there at the top. Yeah,
Yep. Okay. It's not a bad pick, but
yeah. That's. I just
I
think
mean, if
he that's what he needs. He needs an outside linebacker. So whatever the best available is there is who he should take. Who is he going to take? Who knows what those Browns are going to do? I don't know if he
I
knows.
mean, like I said, if Seth White is there, you have him taken. But if Seth White is there, I don't have him taken. My
Yeah,
board is weird. He
that'd be
could go
cool to
there.
see Seth White with Alonzo Graham. Imagine. That'd be incredible.
Hmm.
That would
Or
be
or he
incredible.
could also go Corey Wilson, which is 81 cornerback, which is pretty good. That I don't have up
He could go corner
taken.
because his corners, even though they're like the best in the league, they don't have the rating. So they could
Yeah,
put a third
and
guy
one's
in.
getting old. One Neil Mitchell's probably going to be dropping here in stats over the next couple years. That's all I'm thinking.
Yeah, they
And then
could.
his third guy's only 76. So,
That is true. Definitely could. He definitely could do that. That would be big. All right, let's go throw him up on the board. Boom. There we go. They're up on the board. And that's the picks for the Piranhas. We both have them taking outside linebackers. Scorpions got him taking Andy Magruder, and I got him taking Kevin Miller. Let's go take a look at the 11th overall pick. These Rhinos. What a season, man. What a playoff run. Snow Bowl players, they had six. Um, team needs right end, free safety, outside linebacker, corner. Their playoff record is now 2-2. Um, their regular season record, season one was 3-4. Season two was 5-3-1, and now in season three they're 4-7 and made the playoffs with the seventh seed. This team played phenomenal in the playoffs. But let's take a look at their team. Is it? I think it's you this time. What do you got the Rhinos taking?
So I have the Rhinos taking the second free safety, Aaron Dodd, off the board.
Nice, nice.
Um, and the reason for that is I have both the top outside linebackers off, but he does have Sam McGrady, which is pretty young, and he's 79. He could take a right end here because his right end's only 78, but he also is only 24.
Yeah,
Um, but there's right ends, like I said, they're all 80 or above. So, um, yeah, I think his best pick might be the free safety, in my opinion.
yeah, absolutely. And I got him taking free safety Alvin Means or Marvin Means or Melvin Means.
Melvin Means the
Yeah,
first free safety.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I got him taking the free safety as well. So yeah, absolutely. I could see him going there. Also, he could go corner, but his corners are pretty good at the moment. But he could go corner as well, because I don't have Matt Wood off my board yet. So
Yeah.
he could go cornerback here, um, or he could go free safety for me. Um, I think he's winning either way there, and he's got a great defense there. His offense, there's not really much. He's got a lot of young receivers. He could go receiver, but he's not going to do that in the first round. But again, if Seth White falls to him on your board, I guess he
Mhm.
technically could, but
Very well could.
he very well could. But my on my board, he's taken already. But yeah, what's your pick for the Rhinos?
Aaron Dodd, free safety. I
Aaron
said
Dodd.
it.
That's right.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
so let's go. Yeah, so that's the breakdown for the rounds. Let's go throw it up on the board. Boom. There we go. So we both got the Rhinos taking a free safety in the first round on the second last pick, the 11th pick. We both got them taking free safeties. I got them taking Melvin Means, and the Scorpions got them taking Aaron Dodd. And okay, so let's go take at the look at the champions of season 3, Demons. Let's go.
First
The
year in the league.
first year in the league, and they go all the way and win the whole thing. Absolutely impressive.
Congrats, congrats.
Congrats, man. That's what we all wish we could all do. Walk in and win right away. These teams' needs are free safety, right end, cornerback, defensive tackle. He had 7 snowball players in the All Star game. He's got the last pick in the draft. Regular season in his first season ever went 7-4. And yes, he is 3-0 in the playoffs. That is not a typo. He is 3-0 in the playoffs. That is absolutely incredible for these demons, man. Super excited for these demons, man. When you look at
Sir.
this team, man, it just screams they need a defensive end or a defensive tackle. They need a corner, free safety. Which way are they going to go? And they're right at the bottom of the draft. You know, depending on who falls to them and who other teams don't take, so to speak, is really
Hmm.
going to determine which way he goes, in my opinion. If
Yeah.
someone kind of skips over somebody, so to speak, right?
Yep.
Um, but right here, I got the Demons taking Matt Wood, the corner.
See, and I struggled on the Demons a little bit. I had them going Seth White because I don't have Seth White going off the board. They have two really old wide receivers. But if Seth White is gone, which he might be, that's why I scratched it out and I went Corey Wilson, cornerback. That was my final pick. Um, but I also think they really need a cornerback pretty bad.
Yeah.
Um, so
You.
yeah, I have Corey Wilson.
Oh, so you did put a corner though.
Yeah, I did. I officially put cornerback Corey Wilson. I
Nice.
don't have Seth White going in the first round. I'm weird, but I also see the wide receivers as all pretty decent, and you can get production out of almost all of them. They're all lowest one is 79 overall. The best one is 85. So I'm weird. Just like the right ends, I don't have a single right end off the board.
So in your
But
draft, the Gators could have a shot at Seth White.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
Thomas Brown and Seth
Imagine.
White. Yeah.
Imagine. Wow. Incredible.
I doubt it'll happen that way, but
Yeah.
in my thinking on when I did my draft board, that's just how I did have Seth White written in on the Demons first, just because he did drop for me there. But I officially went with Corey Wilson because I think they need a corner more than they need a wide receiver. Their wide receivers played really well, and they can get a wide receiver in the second or the third,
Yeah.
still be fine. They're older guys that played fantastic and a new guy learning.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Yeah. This team is a phenomenal team. They played absolutely perfect in the playoffs, so to speak. And yeah, these demons, man, really impress in the CSFL world. And let's go throw it up on the board real quick before we call it a show. Okay, there we
And we
go.
have, oh, sorry.
No worries. There you go. The board is up. That's the first round mock draft for season four. And Scorpions on the right side, mine on the Wildcats on the left side. You know, obviously these drafts could go any way, but these are the picks that we both think are their best um, to maximize their team efficiency. But yeah, man, any last words before we call it a show? Thanks for hanging out with me, Scorpions.
Of course, it was great. Yeah, I mean, we really only have three picks that are the same. We have a couple that are similar with the cornerbacks and but they're different in different places. Just like the Bears, we both have taken cornerbacks, but different cornerbacks because of the way our drafts went. Um, and but only three the same with the Wildcats, the Werewolves, and the Gators. Thomas Brown, Jeff Anderson. Oh, four. Sorry, Scorpions also. We have the same, and then Wildcats. So four of the same exact picks, and then quite a few similar picks: free safeties, cornerbacks, outside linebackers.
Yeah, just
Uh,
meeting their needs, right? It really,
yeah,
when you look at it though, when now that you mention that, the second and third overall pick is really what we're going to keep our eye on because that's where we're not sure because they have
yeah,
so many
we're.
options, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I saw the Blue Jays needing a left end, and that's the best left end off the board, and that's what I saw there. Um, and I said earlier that there's a bunch of wide receivers that I think you can get good production out of. The
Yeah.
worst one's 79. That's just how I think. Obviously, it's gonna go different, but
According to your
uh,
draft, though, if he even goes Seth White, he would have a shot at one of those defensive ends still in the second round, right?
yeah, he could pick up a right end. Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Right.
I was just looking at the actual left end, and he's the best one. But he also there's a 81, I think, left end that's still he could probably get in the second. So yeah, it just
All
really
right.
depends on what they want most first.
I guess we're gonna have to wait to see Saturday at 12 o'clock, September 25th. Be there.
Can't wait.
Okay. Talk to you guys soon.